This was recorded on Monday, May 32nd. Hi, I'm Azria. What's
Hi.
your name?
Hi, my name is Sam. I am Azria's dad. Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's the first time.
Yeah. What's your job?
I work at Orville's. I'm an appliance installer and service technician. So, yeah, I install appliances, and if something goes wrong with them, I make them not broken anymore. I don't want to say fix, because that's not always what I do, but it is typically less broken.
Have you been working during this?
I've been working the last couple weeks. I took about a month off there. Pretty much all of April, I was off because I wasn't comfortable going into people's, 10, 12 people's houses every day with however many people live there. And my company had a policy of if, for anybody that calls for service or installation, they would ask them, has anybody been sick? And obviously they're going to say no, but what if they're lying?
Yeah, exactly.
So I took some time off, and now that I guess things in the area have kind of cooled off a little bit, I don't know if they necessarily have, but I'm back to work.
Neat.
Yeah.
Riveting stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it sounds like it. What's the most surprising thing that's happened that you've seen during this?
The most surprising thing?
Yeah.
I guess the most surprising thing, like on a grand scale, as far as the grandest that applies to me, like the national level, is people actually, for the most part, listening when they're told to stay inside.
Right.
Because, as a country, we like to kind of not follow rules.
That's true.
And so when, various government officials are saying you need to stay inside, we're just like, maybe we will.
Yeah.
And that comes with varying degrees of disobedience from some people as well, whether they want to, go out. But I'm not going out, but if I have to, I'm not wearing a mask. And that's kind of ridiculous. If you're going to, go outside where you have to acknowledge there's something going on, a mask is not the worst thing you can do.
Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. I don't get.
Deal.
And then you see the people wearing it underneath their noses.
That blows me. What is the point?
I know.
So, a good example, at work last week, we had to go to the hardware store to pick up some equipment, and even the employees were wearing it under their masks. And I'm like,
really?
Come on, what? You're setting a bad example.
I know, right?
You have a job. You should be above this.
I know, right? I feel like this is so awkward.
You're doing great.
Yay, thank you.
The best thing that's happened to me during this?
Yeah.
Honestly, having that month off of work was really enjoyable because, you know how my work is. Sometimes I don't get home until it's late, and I get to spend maybe an hour with everybody before we start gearing up for bed. But having all that time off was really nice to be able, I could see you whenever I wanted or whenever you wanted. I got to spend more time with Shelly and Logan. We got the garden set up. We got, we were doing stuff.
Yeah, the garden looks nice, by the way.
Thank you. I hope the vegetables grow.
Hopefully.
But yeah, that was really nice for me. It did get a little dull because, I'm not working, but I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything.
It's nice not working and not going to school and everything, but not being able to do anything else either.
It hits you. But, you gotta do what you gotta do. You don't want to flatten the curve and such.
What does that mean?
Flatten the curve?
Yeah. Well,
the idea of flattening the curve is that you're looking at a graph, and over time, people are going to get sick. And with how contagious this is, everyone's going to get sick at some point. So you want to make it so that instead of it going up sharply like this, as to keep the hospitals from getting overwhelmed, get everyone sick over a longer period of time so that it stays kind of like this.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what flattening the curve is.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. The whole point of the quarantine and the lockdown and keep people staying home is so that the hospitals, people trickle in instead of hitting it all at once.
Yeah, more manageable.
Exactly.
Makes
and
sense.
for the most part, it's been working.
Yeah,
mean, hospitals are not getting overwhelmed, at least in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And people are getting sick at such a rate as to not be alarming. And it's like, as horrible as it is, I kind of wish that it was a little more alarming, because people in this area are desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that big. I don't even know anybody that's got it. It's like, well, maybe you don't, but 1,000 other people do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's people who have been, like, impacted by this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And just saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I don't know anybody. It's like...
Like, you're really minimizing the suffering that a lot of people have had to go through.
Yeah.
You know, people that got it, or people who have lost friends and family who had it, you know? So, like I said, it's not that I wished it had been worse. It's that, you know, honestly, I just wish people would realize that it was as bad as it was.
Yeah.
But it could have been worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, more visible, maybe?
Yeah. Maybe that's a better way of thinking about it. I wish it was a little more visible, so that people would acknowledge that this was a serious thing.
Yeah. Good talk.
Good talk. Ooh. All right.
No, deep there for a second.
Moving on. Hey man, I'm pretty deep.
How do you feel about working right now?
It's not great.
I agree.
Just gonna throw that out there. Nice little softball. Kinda sucks. But there is a certain amount of importance to my job. Because
kind of need food and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain aspects of it. Like, I don't think people necessarily right now need dishwashers
or microwaves.
Microwaves, water lines to their fridges. You can get water out of the tap. It's just fine. But if somebody's refrigerator breaks,
that's kind of important.
Something a little more, you know, higher on the necessity chain isn't working properly, that's something that they need. Yeah. So that's, I mean, even like their oven. You know?
Yeah.
So I definitely, you know, can see the necessity for my job being in place, but at the same time, I feel like there's aspects of my job that are not quite as essential as others right now. And essential is a word that's getting thrown around a lot lately, because you got the essential workers and the non-essential workers, and my job is kind of towing that line between essential and non. Yeah. But I think at this point, most people are back to work. I don't know. I don't go out, so I don't see what the world's like out there. I go to work, I come back.
I don't even do that.
I've been in a hole
for the last 2 months.
This is my shovel. I dug it myself.
Proud owner of a hole. It's kind of annoying seeing everyone try and be... not trying to be, but like everyone saying they're essential. Yeah.
I mean, there was the issue with GameStop saying that they were an essential
They carry computers. It's very important.
They don't even carry computers.
They don't. But they carry Animal Crossing. It's very important.
There is something to be said for entertainment being essential.
Because, I mean, people are going to go insane without some kind of entertainment.
Well, I mean, you look at World War II, when movie theaters really hit their stride, when movies started taking off, because people at home didn't have... There's ration cards, so they were kind of short on food a little bit, and there was a lot of materials that they couldn't use and couldn't buy because they had to be sent over for the war effort. So people would go to the movies, and that's where all the big movies, Universal, Pictures, really hit its stride. And that's when like Looney Tunes came out, because people needed something to laugh at. Yeah. And so there's and historically, in times of crisis, entertainment industries have made the most money.
Yeah, that's what I've learned in school.
So it's not to say that GameStop is
mandatory,
non-essential, but entertainment absolutely has a place in this kind of environment right now. And like you said, Animal Crossing, bought that like day one, and we've all got 1 million billion hours on it. And you talk to people online, it's a good thing this came out right then, because, oh man,
I know,
world's falling apart, but at least I've got my island and I have some semblance of control. Yeah. And I think that's what something like entertainment really amounts to, is, especially with video games, and I know they didn't have that back in the day, but
Yeah.
now there's control there. You know, your whole life is spiraling, and you have no say in what happens. But as long as you've got a controller in your hand, you control when it starts, when it stops, and what happens.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a safety net for a lot of people who are just kind of having a lot of issues right now with not being able to, do the things they need to do to kind of keep their mental health in a stable level. So maybe not GameStop as essential, but important.
Yeah, I would say do something that, or not GameStop, but other places that also have more mandatory things like computers and stuff, like Best Buy. Best Buy could be considered more essential than GameStop, I would say. Because they have, like, fridges and, stuff like that.
Yeah, they're kind of a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have been in business.
Yeah.
They've been doing curbside stuff, but they haven't been doing appliance delivery. So, I mean, that's kind of their loss is our gain as far as my business goes. But,
yeah, basically.
Yeah. Just, a lot of people when they talk about essential businesses, I like to really emphasize that entertainment is an important part of society. It keeps us stable.
Yeah.
So the argument over what is essential and what isn't, I think, isn't quite so cut and dry.
Yeah.
As a lot of people like to make it out.
Yeah. I mean, there's things that are very clearly essential, like grocery stores and, hospitals and things like that. But there are other things that aren't technically essential for our survival, but,
Yeah, things that you wouldn't think of as essential.
Yeah.
I would absolutely even argue, like I said, movie theaters, but at a time like this when, we can't have crowds, I don't think movie theaters are quite the best example.
Yeah.
But I think video games are the best example because it gives you that entertainment at home.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's also, this may be a huge turning point as far as movie theaters in general. Like, they may not reopen.
Yeah.
A lot of them won't because so many movies during all this released directly to streaming.
I know, it's
that
crazy.
Scooby-Doo movie that just came out. Onward.
Oh yeah, Onward.
Onward was supposed to come out in like February, and it's like, what? Just put it on Disney Plus. It's now you just get it as part of your subscription.
Yeah.
This brand new movie that cost millions of dollars to make. They're definitely not making their money back on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, people that have Disney Plus were gonna have it anyways. And on top of that, people would have gone to the movies to see this, so Disney would have gotten more money. So now they're cutting out completely. Did some people subscribe to Disney Plus just for that movie? Sure, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
But they're not getting as much money as they would have.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Enough about entertainment.
Nah.
I can talk about that forever.
It's interesting. Anything that's changed, like at your job because of COVID-19?
Oh, you said COVID-19.
I'm fancy.
Oh.
It's serious business.
Oh, you're going to get demonetized for that.
Oh, I am posting these to YouTube. Oh, no.
What has changed at my job? Was that the question?
Yeah.
Well, we have to wear masks, which is kind of a given.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's kind of the main thing. I mean, like I said, when somebody schedules an installation or a service or a delivery, they get asked all these questions that they're probably lying about. But other than that, it's pretty much, we just wear masks now. It's always been kind of an unwritten rule that whenever you get the opportunity, wash your hands, because just going into people's house, people are gross.
People are gross, you're right.
Every single one of them, myself included, yourself included, we're all disgusting.
Obviously me.
We're all gross.
Yep, everyone's gross.
We try to wash our hands as often as we can. We try to not touch things that we don't need to. House don't lean on the counters and things like that. But I mean, sometimes it's just one of those things, we can't help it. We keep sanitizer in the trucks now, just as an extra precaution. But other than the mask thing and a little more emphasis on telling us to wash our hands, nothing has changed.
Interesting.
Yeah. I would kind of hope that more things would, but I honestly can't think of any way to make it safer.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, if you could.
A benefit to it, though, is that typically when we go in a house, we know exactly what we're doing. We don't really need assistance
Mm-hmm.
from the homeowner.
Yeah.
You know, occasionally it's appreciated if we have to get into a basement or have to turn off water or something, but for the most part, we kind of know what we're doing and we can get through it pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people who like to just kind of stand over our shoulders.
That's
what are you
so
doing
weird.
there? What are you doing? Can I help? What do you need? Nothing. Just need you to leave us alone. And during all this, people have been far more accommodating and leaving us alone.
Yeah, that's good.
So we don't like to be rude and tell people, "Can you please go away?"
But it's good that they are.
Yeah, we typically, if somebody is actually, like, if you're standing over our shoulders, it's a little annoying because, you know, when somebody's watching you work, even if you know what you're doing, it makes it a little more tense.
Yeah, uneasy.
If somebody's legitimately in the way, we will tell them, you know, "Can you please step back and give us some room?"
Yeah.
But some people don't.
That's annoying.
It is, but can't be helped.
Yeah.
We're in their house, so we're not going to tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Anything you like/appreciate right now?
I could definitely appreciate people having a little more emphasis on takeout.
Oh, yeah.
I like sitting down in a restaurant. I like eating at home, I think a lot more.
Yeah.
And so many restaurants that used to be like, I'd like to order takeout.
Now it's just
Hold
like, you're so
on.
responsible.
Yeah. It's like, I'd like takeout. Absolutely. What can I get you? I mean, that's obviously a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm appreciative. I'm a little surprised about people's willingness to accept no contact.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're a touchy society.
We are.
If you talk to people around the world, it's like Americans, like, we shake hands, we do the back pat, and we touch.
Yeah.
We're touchy, and it's gross. Hands are gross.
Yeah.
I'm not even like a germaphobe style person. I don't really care, but people are icky.
Yeah.
But so many people have even embraced like silly things like, oh, you can't handshake. What about the elbow thing? Sure, whatever. What about the toe tap? Okay, cool.
That's what they're doing at funerals at my
The
mom's.
toe thing?
Yeah.
Cool. I think it's great. I think it's a cool, nice to meet you. We have dance off and things go on.
Dance off.
It's great. I'm firmly on board. Like, handshaking is such like an antiquated thing too.
I hate it.
To shake hands with somebody who you know and trust goes against the entire concept of what a handshake originally was. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. It started way back in the day. And you would shake hands with somebody and you would go like this to hear if you could hear a jingle of them hiding a weapon in their sleeve. You go, if it jingles, why do you have a knife? So what sense does it make to shake hands with somebody nowadays that you know and trust?
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, same thing with like saluting. That used to be a knight raising his thing. His little eye guard.
Eye cover thing.
Yeah, his visor.
Yeah.
He would raise his visor to show somebody, you know, hey, I'm here and I don't mean you any harm.
Yeah.
But now we use this military thing of like somebody's like respect to a superior.
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense in the context of what it originally was, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
People are, I feel, for the most part, more caring right now about others.
Yeah.
If somebody has an issue with something, they're pretty accommodating to be like, oh, I can't do that. Okay.
Yep.
Don't want you getting sick.
Yep.
Like, the awareness is there.
Yeah. It's kind of nice.
It is kind of nice. I know it won't stick around, but I would like it to.
Yeah. I know people... You really get to see what people are capable of in times like this.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish it was around more.
Yeah. People, like, humanity as a whole, and you know, I can't speak for other nations, but Americans, there's so many people here, and we're such a big country that it's easy to lose track of the fact that, you know, we're all one people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're all Americans, we're all humans, we're all kind of in this together, and when you see thousands and thousands of people every day, and like you don't really get any connection to them, you lose track that they're real.
Yeah.
But with all this going on, everyone is hyper aware of other people because you have to be aware if they're this close and they're doing this, who has a mask and who doesn't. And I feel like it's making people notice each other a lot more.
Yeah.
And I mean, for better or worse, I mean, some people are doing that with, you know, a little more, like accusatory thoughts, like they're not wearing a mask. What's wrong with them?
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, I wonder if they just don't have a mask. Do I have an extra?
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And I like to think well of people, so I like to think it's the latter over the former, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
People are funny.
Yeah. They are. They're interesting.
They can be.
Do you have any questions for me?
So you've been out of school for a while now.
Mm-hmm. A long while.
It's been a while.
About 3 months now.
Do you feel like, other than not going to school, your life has changed? Sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
it's fine.
just to clarify on that, like, say you're the middle of your day when you would be at school, like 7:30 to 3 or whenever it was, was just blank. You know, you can't say, well, I do this now during the day.
Yeah.
Outside of that, do you feel like your life has changed?
In the grand scheme of things, no, not really. But, like, my mom gets off of work earlier now, and that's nice.
Yeah, because, I mean, she was working pretty late sometimes.
Yeah. Like, sometimes I would not even see her before I went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice now that sometimes she doesn't even go into work. That also means I have to clean my room more, though.
Well, you should do that anyways.
I mean,
You've got 8 extra hours in the day now.
I am
It doesn't
aware.
need to be that messy.
Okay, well, see, I figured it out.
I haven't even seen it in, like, weeks, and I know that it's probably messy. You said you cleaned it?
I did clean it.
I bet it's messy.
It's not.
Something happened.
Aw.
The roof caved in. Clean your room.
The
The
cats.
raccoons in the attic fell through.
There's raccoons in the attic.
You don't know.
Fair enough. I hear scratching in the winter. Who knows?
I heard that too.
It was scary.
It's a little weird.
Misty stares at the at the
That little
slanted wall.
It was always like above that doorway that goes into your room.
Yeah.
That little doorway that's on the ceiling.
Yeah.
I would hear it there.
Yeah, same. I don't like it.
The bears.
Bears. That's what the bear trap was for. It all makes sense now.
Right?
And I don't want it to, but it does.
Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well, this was fun.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.